So again, I am Samantha Russell. For those of you I've not had the pleasure of meeting, thank you so much for being here. And today we are talking all about LinkedIn, what we call more advanced strategies. But again, wanting to be able to kind of just go back to the basics a little bit before we get started, especially since so many of you did miss part one. I'm going to go ahead and start by just recapping that. So let me get my screen shared here. All right. So you will all get this LinkedIn checklist as well. We send it to those who are on part one. We'll make sure to send that to everybody who's on part two as well. And this is just a nice little checklist. Before you really get started with these more advanced strategies, you want to make sure you've nailed these elements. So we will send you that checklist as well. But there's two things to think about when it comes to the overall strategy for LinkedIn. And it comes down to two buckets: content and then engagement. So let's start with content. You really want a minimum of 3 posts per week. One that shows off your expertise as a financial advisor, that you understand the industry, you understand what your clients and prospects should be thinking about, that you are a go-to expert in this field, right? So one post that does that. Then you want another post that starts conversation and just gets eyeballs, right? Because the more comments we get on a post, the more people will see that post. That's the way the algorithm works. And then one post that shares something a little bit more personal. Maybe you tie in a story from your life, or you have a personal photo, right? We at FMG can help you definitely with 2 out of 3 of those every single week. And if you're in our Do It For Me program, we even prompt you to help you with the third, the personal. So if it's, Thanksgiving, we might say, hey, send your concierge a photo of your family, and we'll post it for you to go along with a happy Thanksgiving message. Or if it's back to school, can you send us a picture of your kids or you during back to school time, right? So depending on if you are using just FMG's content or if you're in our Do It For Me program, we can help you with this part. So this part, again, you can really outsource in a lot of ways to somebody else. The part that you cannot outsource is the second part, which is the engagement part. So again, 2 sides to the equation here. The content part you can outsource, but the engagement part you have to do. So we are going to talk about what that looks like. So this should take about 15 minutes or so per day. The more you do it, the faster it goes. And you're going to do these things that I've outlined here. So you're going to leave 5 comments on your first degree connections, 5 comments on either second or third degree connections. And then you go back and respond to any comments that were left on any of the content that you've posted. You're going to send 5 quick direct messages, reach out to 3 people asking them to connect, and then follow 3 other people. So I'm going to actually today, just because so many of you missed part one, show you in the browser what that looks like. And then we're going to go into the more advanced strategies. So this is a recap of part one, but it'll be good to go over it again for everybody who was there and show you actually what that looked like. Okay, so let's just pull up my LinkedIn, and I'm just going to go to this page. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn already, it's Samantha C. Russell. Go ahead and send me a connection request right now. It can be one of your 3 for the day. But again, let's start with that, right? So you're going to send 3 connection requests and you're going to follow 3 different people. So remember, those are 2 different things, right? If you go to your network, your connections are right here. So you can see I have 12,727 connections, but those people they're all following me. But I have, if we go over to my page, 40,745 followers. So not every follower is a connection. For all of you, let's say you want to see everything that I post, but you send me a connection. You don't want to send me a connection request for whatever reason. You just want to follow me. If there's a creator like a Gary V, right? You might not need to connect with him. You're not trying to send him messages and he's never going to become a client of yours. So you can just follow him, right? So you can think of follows as people that you're never going to do business with. They're just a thought leader that you want to follow what they're doing, right? So it could be, like I said, let's go back to like a Gary V. Here we go. If I want to see what content that he puts up, because he's a well-known thought leader, but I don't actually want to use one of my connection requests on him, I can just come over here and click follow. Now I'm following him and I will see his posts in my feed. So every day you're going to send 3 connection requests and then follow 3 different types of creators. And if you're wondering, well, who should I be following? Depends on what you want to learn. If you're trying to learn more about marketing, you can come in here and search different, marketing topics. If you're trying to learn more about your particular area of expertise, search those keywords, and then you're going to look for those thought leaders. So, okay, 3 follows, 3 connection requests. Then remember, if we go back here, we're going to leave comments on 1st-degree connections and 2nd and 3rd-degree connections. So this is where I'm now going to show you how you might go about that. The 1st degree is pretty simple. I usually just go and allow what's in my feed to guide me here, right? So my friend Graham Thomas here, who's the Chief Revenue Officer at the Compound, I might, okay, so figures the one post that I choose has the comments turned off. How often does that happen? Not often. But okay, he says, help me test out my new AI clone before I release it to my podcast audience. Right? I might say, this is amazing, love that you're testing out this new AI feature, right? So I'm going to leave comments on 5 different posts that show up here in my feed. Now, again, the type of comment you leave is important. So don't just say, hey, great post. You want to add to the conversation. You want to say something that's going to, make the person think, or maybe you have a controversial point of view on it, whatever it is going to be, but you want to add to the conversation. Don't just say great post. Another thing you can do is in your feed here. So you can see Tracy reposted something from Ian. Ian is a 2nd degree connection of mine. So remember, we want to have 5 comments on posts that are 1st degree connections and 5 comments on posts that are 2nd or 3rd degree. So this is another way you can find those 2nd and 3rd degree, is by looking at who in your already circle, who are they, connecting and engaging with. So instead of going here and leaving a comment on Tracy's, I could click over to Ian's content and then leave a comment here. Now, why would I want to do that? I am currently getting a lot of speaking opportunities in the UK. I am, working with a lot more UK advisors. So maybe I want to leave a comment here on Ian's post, because now he's part of, the financial planning world in the UK, and everybody who, once I leave that comment, people that are connected with Ian have the opportunity to see my comment and to go, oh, who's Samantha Russell, right? And then start following me or check out my profile and see what it is I have to talk about. So that's how we get this ball rolling. So I always say, if you've never left a comment on a stranger's post before, you're doing social media wrong. The whole point is networking, right? So if I read this and he's talking all about, all these different organizations, I could say something like, great recap. Let's just do it. We'll do it real time. Great recap and summary of so many wonderful events. Hope to learn more about what you all are doing. Keep up the great work, right? So that's sort of a little bit too bland and generic, but for the interest of time for today, you get the idea. So now I leave that comment. Again, all these people who are also 2nd degree connections are going to have the opportunity to see that, right? So, but you might be thinking, okay, but in my feed, I don't really have a lot of 2nd degree connections that come up. How can I go about actually finding them? So now I'm going to show you what that might look like. So here's what I did. I came in here, and we're going to reset this search, and I came to the place where you can do the searches. So if you want to follow along with me, you all can do this in real time. So you come into LinkedIn, into your search. And by the way, if you have premium, it is a little different. You can't do as much filtering. So if you want to try this out, you can upgrade your profile to LinkedIn Premium, and you can just do it for a month. You don't have to commit to the year. See if it is useful to you, and then you could always cancel. But I do have the premium, the lowest level premium package, and I do it by the month. So I've searched, you can choose people, jobs, posts, companies, right? All these different things. So I have people selected. And you can see I didn't just look at 1st degree connections. I looked at 1st and 2nd degree connections, right? And then under locations, I picked San Francisco. And under company, I picked Microsoft. And then when I hit results, you can see there's 50 different people who worked for Microsoft in San Francisco. So this, let's say I, again, work with Microsoft employees in San Francisco. Now I can start clicking on these different folks and see, do they have any recent content that they shared that I can go leave a comment on? Because if I DM them and I say, hey, I'm a financial advisor that works with Microsoft employees, it's a sales pitch, right? You're going to get ignored most of the time. But if they if they have a really great post and I am just commenting on their post, they're going to stop and take notice and say, who's Samantha Russell? And then they click over and they see, oh, she's a financial advisor that works with Microsoft employees and want to be more interested in what I have to say, right? So this is how that filtering can work really, really well to your benefit. I'm going to just pull up the chat here and make sure I'm not missing any questions while you all are doing this. Okay. Somebody said 3 a day seems like overkill, 600 plus follows per year. The reason that you want to do this really more than anything is that it's showing LinkedIn that you're active. And the more active you are, the more your content is going to get shown to more people. So actually a really great trick is, let's say Peter is someone that I really, really want to get in front of. If I make him one of the people that I leave a connection request to, and he now accepts it, when I post later today or tomorrow, Peter is way more likely to see my content because we just connected. So that's a really good tip to know, is that right after you connect with somebody is the highest probability that LinkedIn is going to show you each other's content. And that makes sense, right? It's a brand new connection. So they're thinking, let's see how engaged they're going to be. And if I start lingering on every one of Peter's posts and paying attention to what he says and leaving comments on his post, excuse me, then the algorithm's going to like it even more and say, oh, Samantha really, really likes Peter's content. So that is something to pay attention to. The other thing is that you do have a max number of connection requests you can send and a max number that you can have overall. So let me just pull that up for you all. Yeah, here we go. So per account, you can only have 30,000 connection requests or connections total, which I know seems like a lot, but you can keep that in mind. If you have a free or premium account, you can send a max of 100 requests a week. And if you have a Sales Navigator account, it's about 250 a week. So keep that in mind. You don't want to do overkill when growing your network. And again, the reason 3 a day, you're trying to be really intentional about picking the right people, not just anyone, right? I just said a post about this the other day. You're not trying to have a million connections and followers. You're trying to have the right connections and followers that are going to move the needle for your business. So does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully we're all on the same page with that. Okay, so let's just go and talk about, again, some different advanced strategies. So one of the things that really, really can work well is okay, let me just go into the wrong one here. To think about a company that you would love to do business with. So let's say you really work with physicians. So you want to find a hospital in your local area that you're gonna try to, connect with the physicians in that area, right? I'm just gonna do it here a little different. There we go. So let's say that for me, I'm a marketer that helps financial advisors. So let's say I come in here and I go to companies and I go to location and I say the US, United States. Okay, show results. You got to make sure you hit show results on each one, by the way. And then I under all filters. Let's go. We got financial services. Okay, so all these different companies come up. And now I see wealth.com and I think, oh, wealth.com is a company I'd love to partner with, right? So I click wealth.com, they come up. I can now see all of their employees. So I click over to employees, and now I have a whole list of people, right? So again, rather than me send Cindy a direct message saying right out of the blue, like a hard sale, I can click her profile and see, okay, she deals with partner success, and look at all this great content she's posting, right? So I can come over here and, go to one of her posts. And actually, I try to pick one that doesn't have as many comments, because if a post had 30 comments, you're just another comment in a long line. But if it only has one, your comment's going to stand out, right? So choose one of their posts and then add to that conversation, right? That they've talked about it. And when you do that, again, Cindy's going to get a notification that you commented on her post, and that is going to make her think, who is Samantha Russell? She clicks over to my profile. She sees that I'm at the intersection of marketing, technology, and financial services. She says, what does she do? She reads my about section, and now she's intrigued and looking at my content, and if I leave a few more comments on her post and then send her a DM saying, hey, Cindy, I've been loving the content that you're sharing. Would love to learn more about wealth.com and see if there's any synergies. She is going to be 1,000 times more likely to accept that meeting, right? Because she's already seen I've been engaging with her for a while, right? So that is something to really, 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 think about. This is a long-term strategy, but you can be really intentional about it. Again, this is the part that you can't outsource, and it does take a little bit of time. As I'm walking you through it, it's going to take more time than it seems, but really in the morning, I'm going to my homepage. I'm just commenting on the posts that show up in my feed, and then I'm going to do a filter to find a few more second and third degree connections that I want to leave a comment on. Is this hopefully making sense for everyone? Let me know in the chat. And if you're like, elaborate more on X, Y, or Z, I think that would be helpful if there's certain things that you want me to elaborate on. Okay. Great. A lot of yeses. Wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about, if you do want to start DMing those Microsoft employees, what could you send that would not come across as salesy? And maybe tell us in the chat, do any of you use DMs effectively yet? Have you tried sending DMs to get on, people to book with you? And how has it gone? But I'm going to show you something that I know works really well. And the best part is we at FMG can really help you with this part as well. So what I'm talking about is LinkedIn events. So here is a LinkedIn event page. So this is actually what we're in right now, our LinkedIn growth workshop, right? Advanced strategies. And you can actually set this up so easily. But the reason why I invite you to do this is because you can invite people from LinkedIn. So let's just go under here, under share. You can see this little invite button. I'm going to show you how to use it. So first I'm going to show you how it works on LinkedIn, and then I'm going to show you how we make it easy through FMG. So you set up this page, you create a new event, which, does everybody here know how to do that? Or do you want me to show you where to go to create an event? I can just do that really fast just to make sure everybody knows. So up here under this, see right here, create an event. You can click this create an event button, and now you're going to say, is it a LinkedIn Live? For all of you, if you're going to host it like we are today in a Zoom, you're going to say external event link. And then what's the name of your event? So maybe it could be financial scams targeting seniors. Oops. Get out of the way. And then you pick the time, all of that good stuff. And then once you've got this all, ready to go, you're going to hit next, and it's going to create your event page, and it's going to look like my event page that you have here. The only difference will be you're going to need to add a background image here, which you can go into Canva and easily make those. They have a million different templates. You can just add it in here and it'll be ready to go. And so you can see this event link is taking them to an outside place to sign up, right? So when you click this, it's taking them to this events page. This is where people can sign up for the event. So for all of you, you would have your landing page. Again, if you're with FMG, we make it really easy to set up these landing pages in our system. Everything goes through compliance, and then you add your Zoom link or however you're going to host it. But now the beauty of this is the way you can invite people. So you come over here and under invite, you can invite people to your event. So again, let's say I'm trying to look at people who are with Microsoft. You can come in here, click Microsoft, and see which, of my connections are already with Microsoft and invite them that way. Or you can, sorry, my Zoom tabs are all showing up over on top of this. Click off of that. You could filter by, it doesn't want to just say clear. There we go. You can filter by a million different things, right? By industry, by current company. So you're able to invite people directly through this LinkedIn. So I'm just going to show you an example of a real advisor doing this. This is Cordant Wealth Partners, Isaac Priestley, sorry. He's a friend of mine, and he does this all of the time. You can see he actually just did one today. This is what his page looks like. He's doing tax-savvy diversification strategies for Microsoft employees. He had 88 attendees. So he goes in, creates the events page, and then is directly inviting people who work at Microsoft through LinkedIn. Again, all this is really doing is a way for you to find people and allow them to say, yes, I'm attending, and it promotes it to more people. You're not actually going to have the event. It's in a LinkedIn Live. This is all still going to go through Zoom. It's going to be routed through compliance. This is just another way to promote the event. Hopefully that makes sense. So with compliance, let me show you how it would work in FMG. Okay, so you would come into FMG, you come to your events page, right? I've just created one, financial scams seniors should know about. I put a description about what it is that the webinar is going to be about. I dropped in an image that I, pulled from online, and then I can preview what that looks like. So here it is, financial scam seniors should know about, excuse me. We have the date and time, the location. Once I've got this event page set up, I submit it to compliance. When I hit that publish button, it's going to be pending and compliance approval. And then once compliance approves it, I now have a link that I can put in that LinkedIn event page, and it's going to direct people to this page to sign up. So LinkedIn, again, is just serving as the promotion tool to get new people, new blood that are not yet in my lead list to come to this event. So it's a filtering system, right? If you're like, well, I don't have any content already to create, event on, we've got you covered there too. So you can see up here, we have all these different events. A popular one is always our halftime report. Every single year, we have a new tax strategies presentation that we put together. And when you choose one of these, we give you the description, the event name, everything. So you don't actually have to create, oh, I'm still hitting the wrong one. You don't actually have to create your own landing page. It's all given to you, and we give you the presentation itself. So let me just show you what one of those would look like. Here is our latest one on the Secure Act. How did the Secure Act change retirement? So you can see the whole entire presentation is done for you, but you could add your logo. You could make it your own colors if you want. It's all editable, but the whole presentation's done. The landing page is done. So all you now need to do is create the LinkedIn page and start inviting people. So this is just an amazing feature. Again, we've got the content covered, but in terms of the engagement and going in, that part of the strategy you would need to own. Okay, I'm going to go back to the LinkedIn browser. Lise or Aubrey, chime in if there's certain questions that I need to highlight. I think I answered the compliance one. If that didn't answer compliance for you all, please let me know. I'm going to go back to the other screen here. Okay. So let's just go back to my homepage, and I'm going to look at some of your other comments.
And we just got a quick question. Are FMG events available for all subscription? And yes, events, as long as you have marketing with FMG, you will have events. Those event templates are a premium option.
There we go. Thank you, Elise.
You're welcome.
So another way you can really, again, in those thinking about how would you DM someone, so other than like sending them something that says, I just really enjoy your content or this or that, another great way that I like to use the DMs is if there is a post that I have that I think other people would get a lot of value out, right? So let's just find one. Here we go. So Kelly, had messaged me and said something, and I said, thanks for reposting. Here's the link for Wednesday, right? Or, hey, if you enjoyed, she said, I signed up for your event. I said, can't wait. Just shared this article too, which I'll be touching on, right? So if somebody leaves a comment on one of your posts, you can send them a DM inviting them to something or sending them a post that you just shared. This is a great way to get more eyeballs and more comments on your post, right? So if I post something and I think, hey, this is a great post, but I'd love more people to leave comments. I can go into my connections and send it to a few people and say, hey, I just posted this. I think you might find it interesting. And most of the time, they will go and read the post and end up leaving a comment. So that is another great way to use those DMs. Okay, I wanted, again, this to be interactive. So I'm going to pull a couple of your profiles here in just a second, but I'm just going through the Q&A box. Somebody asked, this is a good question, by continuing to follow and connect with other people, does your feed start to get too big to see everything? 100%, all of us, it doesn't matter how small or big your network is, you're only seeing probably 1% of what your connections or the people you're following are posting. So that is why another strategy that I use all the time is I will come into, oops, wrong button. I will come into my content every once in a while, and you can see here under activity, and I will look at all of my posts. So I can click show all posts here, and I will start just scrolling through and seeing which ones got the most impressions, comments, and reposts. And I kind of will scroll back. I'll say like, okay, let's look at 6 months ago or 12 months ago. And I'll take one of those posts that performed really well back then. And so like this one is about using Google reviews. And I got 22,000 impressions, 39 comments. So I would take something like this. I posted it 3 months ago, take all the copy it, repost it, but just change out the image. And most of the people in my network will not realize A, it's the same post, or B, that they won't remember it, right? Because think of how much content you're all interacting with. But when I do that, it's almost guaranteed to be successful the second time. If it was popular the first time, it'll be popular the second time. Anyone new I'm connected with will see it again. If they saw it the first time, I'm sorry, see it for the first time. And anyone I've been previously connected with, they have a chance to see it, but they still might not. So repurposing your best performing posts like that is a fantastic, fantastic strategy. Okay. I think somebody asked what exactly is an impression. So you can see on all my posts here, it'll just tell you impressions. That's just how many times was that post shown in the feed to LinkedIn users. It doesn't mean they lingered on it. So linger is like, I've got this pulled up right here. It's on my screen. I'm staring at it. If I click more, that tells the algorithm that I'm really actually reading the post. But an impression just means it was in somebody's feed and they were scrolling past it. That's what an impression is. So the impressions themselves don't matter as much as obviously comments. You want the most comments is the number one thing, but they give you a barometer of how many times was that post seen. So hopefully that answers your question. Somebody asked, does the FMG event content include the video, or do we need to do the speaking? You do need to be the one to actually present it. So we do not present it for you. However, the slides obviously have all the information you would need to actually, go in and you read off of them to present the information. And you can pre-record these things if you wanted to. And then, make them into a LinkedIn Live or something like that down the road. However, we do really suggest you make them live and let people attend, because we see that audience interaction, just like I'm doing with you today, is when you're going to get the most conversions, right? People want to be able to ask questions of the speaker. Awesome. Okay, you guys have great, great, great questions. Oh, somebody just asked, how do I send a post to someone? Okay, sorry, I assumed you would know that, but you're right. Why would I assume? That's dumb. So if I have a great post and I want to send it to somebody, let's say this is the post, right? I can come up here to these three little buttons and I just click copy link like that. And now when I come in here to my messages, I'm going to pick on Cedric because he works with me. I can send him a message. I don't know why it's not pulling up here. And I can just say that, and I could say, whatever I want. Hi, Cedric. I just wanted to share this post. I just shared on LinkedIn now with you. I think you will find it valuable. At least I hope so, right? So don't be as corny as me, but you get the idea. That's how you would share it. So you just click those three little buttons in order to find it. All right, great, great, great questions. Okay. And if you're wondering again, if you're not part of if you're not part of FMG and you're kind of wondering how does this work with FMG, because I'm seeing some questions about that, let me just show you something quick. So we have two different options. We have just our, and then I'm going to pull up some profiles after that. So we have just our, we have, I shouldn't say just, we have this amazing content library with so much content. And you could come in here, let's say for LinkedIn, and you can come to social posts, and you can see all the different posts that we have. You can filter by a million different things. So during the election content that we had was really, really popular. But there's things that are more lifestyle. There's things that are related to what's happening. So, right, like Cyber Monday, here's one about Cyber Monday. So it's more timely, and you could post something like that, again, to maybe get a little bit more comments. You could post something that's more financial related. So this one's about the Fed rate cuts. So you can come in here and pull any posts you want and schedule them. So once you click use post, it's going to allow you to either use it as is or to edit it. Again, it all has to go through your compliance no matter what, but you can see what it's going to look like here in real time. So if I add something, you're going to see to the right what it looks like as I'm adding it. And then if you wanted to change the image, you can upload your own image or use something from Canva. So again, we make it really, really easy to make it your own. You could also add emojis to break up the text. And then once you've got the post the way you want, you can go ahead and schedule it for later, choosing the date and time that you want. And then it'll say it's ready to roll. So it'll go through compliance, and once compliance approves it, it's posted. If you're like, that sounds like a lot of work, I don't want to do all that, we have social sequences that will, there are a series of posts, which makes it even easier because you don't have to go in and keep choosing different posts. There's just a whole, like it'll say day one, this is going to post. Day two, this is going to post. So it's a sequence. So you choose that sequence, and then it'll post multiple posts over the course of a few weeks. So if you're coming in here, if you see these social sequences, that's what those are, is just multiple posts at once. If you say, that's even great, Sam, but I just want someone to do it for me, we have this Do It For Me program where every month you're paired with a marketing concierge. Remember, I said we can take care of the content, but you have to do the engagement part. So the marketing concierge will be the person that manages helping you get all this content ready to go and scheduled so that you can just focus on the LinkedIn engagement part. So you've got all your content down here. You have recommended pieces that we say you should absolutely use these every month. You can see it's color coded. So we have blogs, we have emails, and then these social posts you can see here. So if I click on one, just to give you an idea, this is post number 1. It's saying about Medicare. Did you know there's 2 different Medicare enrollment periods? And it'll show you all the content as well as the image that will go with it. And then you can see it's saying 4 days later, this post is going to go up. And this is all about the IRS. And then 3 days later, this post is going to go up. So in our Do It For Me program, we will schedule the social posts for you, get them all ready to go. So again, you're just going into LinkedIn and dealing with the engagement part, and you're not needing to come up with the content to post to your own profile. I think this would be a good time, Aubrey. Let's just put up our poll. If you want to learn more about this program, I'm going to stop talking about it and go back to LinkedIn, but it is something we get asked about a lot. So we'll launch a quick poll. If you want us to send you more information about this Do It For Me program, where we take care of the content, so you can just work on the engagement part and interacting with people in your feeds, and you know that we're going to make you look like a thought leader, have great content that relates to financial planning, but also to timely topics, what's happening in the news. Again, you'll be paired with a concierge, so they would get those personal photos from you to get queued up to post, all that good stuff. You can say, would love to learn more, or maybe later. And if you say, would love to learn more, we will reach out to you to share more about it and give you more info. Okay, awesome. So let's go back into the profile. So many of you have asked about profiles. So I'm going to pull up a couple people's and we will do a little review. So Daniel Miles is the first one I just happened to click on. So Daniel is, he says he's offering comprehensive financial planning. He's got his title here with all of his certifications, credentials, I guess. And it looks like you've got a lot of posts, which is good. The first thing I would say, though, Daniel, is that this banner up here is really your place to quickly, right, make a great first impression about who are you, what do you do, and who do you do it for. So I would get rid of the picture of money, and I would do something that specifically tells people about you and about your business. So I'll just pull up an example here that I have in the slide deck. So you can see. So, right, you can, they're kind of cut off here, but you can see they've got banner images in the background that tell people specifically about them. Let me go back here. So this one, Keith Wilson, that financial guy, spreading a wealth of information. Stronger, but something like, I help retirees and pre-retiree, or I'm sorry, I help people getting ready to retire, feel confident in their financial plan and go into retirement, not worrying about whether they've saved enough. You know, that might be a little bit tricky for compliance to approve, but you get the idea. You want to be really specific about what it is that you do with that banner. So for you, Daniel, that would be my feedback on what to change. Okay, let's get to a couple more. Eric. Here we go. Eric, Inspire Advisors. I love that you've got this waving face at the top, but again, still a little bit gray and you know what it is that you're doing to help people. So, or what area that you work in more specifically. So if you can get more specific with that, I definitely would. But I like that you've got kind of all these different titles for yourself: financial advisor, financial pastor, guide, speaker. But that's all about you. If you could add a line in there about who you help specifically, I'll just show you, you know, follow me for marketing strategies to grow your your advisory firm. And, you know, now that we're talking about this, I should even change that to say your financial advisory firm. But you want to be specific about why someone should follow you, why they should connect with you, what value are you going to add? And that should be in your title there. Okay, let's click on a couple more. You guys are and gals are awesome. Valerie Thomas. I like it. Experienced wealth management professional, master relationship builder, encourager extraordinaire. One of the things I noticed on your profile, Valerie, is, so we talked about the banner images, that would apply here too, but you don't have a strong call to action. So LinkedIn now allows you to add, you see mine says book me to speak. Yours might say schedule a meeting or learn more. So you'd want to add that to your profile. So if somebody does come and check out your profile, they want to get in touch with you, they know exactly what to do. And so where you can add that, let me show for all of you. So this little button on your profile here, you're going to click that edit button. And then, let's see, we'll keep going down here. Under custom button, I'm going to click edit. And you can say, do you want to do a link? And once you've got your link ready, so a lot of you are going to send it to your website, you could send it to your calendar. You're going to add that link in there and then decide what you want it to say. So schedule a time, learn more about working with me, whatever it is you want. But you want to add that custom button to your profile page. Awesome. Tell me in the comments, in the chat, everybody, is this helpful? What else do you want to see? We've got a few more minutes. We want to keep it coming so that we can get the most out of this session for all of you. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. Mike Kessler. Oh, Mike, I love, look at Mike's banner, fiduciary retirement planning. He's got his email and his phone, so no excuse to not get in touch with him. We do still need the call to action there, but he's got a great about section. Retirement planning is one of the most important and complex decisions of your life. You deserve a trusted and knowledgeable guide. Let's see, he's got some services, listed. One thing you don't see, or I don't see, Mike, that I would add here is a featured section. So if you don't have a featured section already, again, I'll use myself as a guinea pig. That is right here. See where it says featured? And this is where you can highlight your own content, your website, a podcast that you have or that you are a guest speaker on, an article that you contributed. You can really highlight anything. So if you don't have that turned on already, what you want to do is up here under, wait, I'm in the wrong section. I'm sorry, right here, add profile section. You're going to click that. And then on this section is where you would add, my goodness. If I can find it. Oh, maybe it's because I've already got it added. But this is where you would add, oh, here it is, recommended, add featured. So you click add featured right there. So you're going to click add profile section and then add featured under recommended. And then once you've got it added, you can make anything a featured. You can put anything there that you want. So click this little addition button. Again, you could put a link to a YouTube video. You could upload pictures. You could what I do, as you can see here, is I'll take a post that performed really well and I'll add that to my featured section. So if I go through all of my posts here and there's one that I think, performed really well, what should financial advisors post on social media? And I'd say, yes, I want to add that. I'm going to click these three little buttons and then I'm going to say add to featured. It's already featured for me, so I'm clicking, it says remove, but once you click it, then it will be in your featured section. So that's what I would suggest you do, Mike, is add a featured section because it looks like you're sharing great content. You've got a lot of the other things nailed, but that would just really help somebody checking out your profile for the first time get a good sense of what it is that you can help them with. Katie Driscoll, I use my dog as a featured post. I love it. Okay, Liana, she just put herself in there. Let's look at Liana. Awesome. Is that your company on the ticker there at the NASDAQ? That's awesome. Liana's got investment advisor representative, Orlando, Florida, helping employers hire and retain top talent. I love it. So she's got an about section. That's great. She's got services. She's even got some featured things here. She's got two. I will say, I suggest having at least 5 things in your featured section, by the way. So I think LinkedIn allows you to do up to 10 at this point, but I would do at least 5. So you can add a few more there. And she's got some things that she's posting, which is great. Let's look at one of your posts. Okay, so let me give you some feedback on your post. So you've got aging parents and finances, the talk every family should have, and then a link. What you want to do here that we're not doing is what we call zero-click content. And you'll notice with all of the posts that I was showing you before that FMG writes, right? As the year winds down, this is an example of one of our posts. Here are 7 year-end tax ideas to consider. Do you see how all of the content is in the post itself? You don't need to go and click a link to read this. The reason this is important is the algorithms love people to stay on the platform. And we all want to just keep scrolling and scanning. We don't want to have to click off LinkedIn to get the gist of it. So you want to give away all the meat of what it is you're talking about in the post itself. And you'll also get a lot more comments on your post that way, right? So if I were to click your link here, Let's see where it takes us. It's taking us to your website, it looks like. Don't know why it's not. Okay, so there it is. So you got your website and it's got this article. So instead of making them come over here to read the article, you can summarize the key points of the article and put those in your post itself. And then maybe even ask a question like, have you and your family had the talk yet? Or what was the most difficult thing with talking with your parents about their finances to get more comments, right? So again, making your posts what we call zero-click content. And if you, again, want some inspiration, if you look at my posts, you'll see that that's what every single one is. So they're longer, but they give you the information up front, and then it makes it a lot easier for people to leave comments on your posts. Okay, someone just asked, what if you have YouTube content you want to share on LinkedIn? Is it better to put the link in the body or the comments? What I would actually do is take a clip of your LinkedIn, I'm sorry, of your YouTube, take a clip of the video, upload the clip. So this is an example of one that we did here. So here's a clip of a full video. So this full video is like 10 minutes long, talking about what should be on the homepage of your website. I just put a 4-minute clip, uploaded it natively to LinkedIn. And then if you want to watch the whole video, you put the link to the full video in the comments. Or you can, even better, Kelly, I forgot to tell you all this, say in your post, if you want to watch the full video, comment video in the comments and I'll send it to you. Because now you're going to get so many more people commenting on your post. So that's what I would suggest. Okay. Do you have any suggestions on how to increase the amount of comments in your post? Yes. One of the very first ones is, ask for people to leave a comment or to share their take on X, right? So again, feel free to use me as a guinea pig or look at the posts from in your feed that get the most comments. What do they have in common? They make it easy for people to leave comments, right? So on this one, 5 reasons you're not getting any results on social media and how to fix it. Do you get any clients from social media? I'm asking a question that makes people want to answer, right? Here's the top 5 reasons. And then people will start, leaving comments. Number 3 is the hardest for me, or, this happened to me. So I'm asking them for their own experience. And that really, really helps. Okay. Denise, you're so sweet. She said, the way content just flows from you is amazing. You're the best. Thank you. I can't see you all. So again, I'm always, give me feedback. Is this helpful? What else do you want to see? And yes, actually, Aubrey just put a link to a quick thing I had explaining more about zero-click content, a LinkedIn post that I had done. So I will pull that up. All right, Eli, let's see what Eli's page looks like. I help lobbyists reduce taxes, retire early, and pursue their passions. That is a one simple line that sums up what you do and who you do it for. And then you got a picture of Washington, D.C. to say where you do it. I mean, doesn't get any better than that. I think that's beautiful. Again, he's got this schedule a quick chat button. Okay, that's great. Taking us to his website with his calendar on it. Fantastic, Eli. He's got a good about section. He's got featured. So I really think the main thing that, you probably need to do more of, Eli, because it looks like you're at about 1,800 followers. I don't know how many connections, is just being maybe strategic about finding those lobbyists using the advanced search, searching by companies or location, or title, and then connecting with them. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just try to do any other questions that are remaining because okay, I think we got to a lot of these. A couple people asked about the verification badge on LinkedIn and how important it is. I hope it's not that important because I don't have it. So if it's really important, I guess I'm screwed too. But no, I've heard mixed things about it, if it's important or not. I do think from, the reason that the social platforms are doing this is just because there are people that are impersonating on other platforms. That was a big issue on X, formerly Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you probably get messages from what looks like Samantha 20, which is my handle, every day asking if you want to buy Bitcoin from me. There are a million different people all of those things. So, oh, people are saying I do have the badge. You're right, I do. I don't think I did anything to get verified. Oh, you guys are making me, maybe I had a mom moment where I got verified like in the middle of the night when I had a sleepless child or something. That's cracking me up. But anyways, I'm not sure how important it is, honestly, to be 100% honest. And I guess maybe if somebody knows the answer, put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll have to do some research and we'll need to do another LinkedIn part 3 in the future. If somebody's asking where the badge is, it's this little check mark right here next to my name, the black shield. But I don't think it's that important, to be honest with you. All right. And what other questions? Oh, yeah, you need your ID to become LinkedIn verified is for sure true. So, okay, let's just go back to large, high overview takeaway. What is it that you need to do, right? You need to have these 3 types of content per week: a post that shows off your expertise, a post that gets the conversation going and gets eyeballs. That's like current events, right? It could be about the holidays. It's just something that it's a little bit more feel good, easy to comment on. And then one that's sharing at least a personal photo or a personal angle. Our team at FMG can help you with this. We would love to help you. Please message us. I'll put a QR code. We'd love to help you with this part. But then this is the part that you need to either have someone on your team do on your behalf or you need to be in charge of. If you do this, though, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, you will be floored by the end of even just 3 months. We don't even need 6 months or a year. By the end of just a few months, what a difference you're seeing. And now maybe speaking opportunities are coming your way, or people are saying, I keep seeing all this great stuff you're posting on LinkedIn. I need to introduce you to my friend. Or, hey, I see you work with small business owners. I have a small business owner friend and they've been looking for someone to help them with selling their business. The opportunities are just going to come your way because you're engaging with other people and your profile will get seen by more people. I promise you. So that I'm going to get off of my soapbox and I'm just going to skip to the end here and put this QR code up. If you'd like to learn more about FMG, how we have trained, our team and content team to write all of these social posts so that they follow the 0-click content rules, that they're using all the best practices, that we can take it off your plate and do your content for you. There's the QR code you can scan, or you can always shoot us an email, marketing@FMG Suite. But I hope this was helpful for you, these more advanced strategies. I hope you learned something today. We will keep doing them as long as you all keep telling us that they're helpful to you. So give us some feedback, let us know. And seriously, thank you all for spending your afternoon with us. I hope you all have a fantastic and happy and healthy Thanksgiving with your loved ones. Thanks, everybody.